This is just a really big decision. Hey guys, it's Keegan. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video, we are going to be touring apartments. I'm touring apartments in the Old Town / South Scottsdale area. If you guys are like, why are you touring apartments? I have to give my 60-day notice if I'm renewing my lease in this apartment or if I'm moving out in a week. I cannot believe the time has flown by. Crazy. I wanted to tour a couple apartments and see all my options if I wanted to renew, if I wanted to move somewhere else. My apartment is a 1-bedroom apartment, but it's a little bit bigger than the standard 1-bedroom apartment. So I knew that there were some other places out there that had a little bit cheaper of rent. So I wanted to see my options if that was something I was interested in moving in. I thought I would take you guys with me. I'm also the most indecisive person in the entire world, so I would love to hear your guys' opinions and thoughts after I've toured all these apartments. Without further ado, let's get into the video. We're about to walk into apartment number 1. Let's go. Just toured apartment number 1. I really liked it. I like really vibed with the leasing office lady. Like we low-key could be friends. So here are my thoughts. I thought it was really pretty. The price is kind of similar to what I'm paying for my apartment right now, and it's a lot smaller. She was showing me like the apartments I could get if I were to move there, like the ones that are available. One of them has really good lighting, one of them doesn't, and the model that we toured is very similar to the one with really good lighting, and the lighting wasn't that great. I filmed videos in my apartment. My background for all my videos, it was kind of a darker apartment, and if she said that's the one with great lighting, I'm not so sure about that. Also, they're building an apartment complex right next door, so there's a lot of construction noise, which I think that would be really annoying, and I don't anticipate them. There's a lady walking right next door. I don't anticipate them to be done building this apartment anytime soon. Like, it literally looks like it's the bare bones, but I think it's going to be really loud. I thought the apartment was really pretty though. I liked the features a lot, and the community seemed really nice. Like, it's not a big apartment, and they also have some perks that next door there's a pool and a 24-hour food delivery place next door, so there's like a lot of perks to it. It looks very pretty. I just don't know if it's worth the price. Also, I'm kind of stressed because I'm already late to my next appointment. I had one that I missed. I'm like kind of running late to everything, which is stressing me out. I did really like this one. I just don't know if it's worth the price. The construction next door makes me worried. So that's my consensus on apartment number 1. Let's drive over to apartment number 2. I'm already late, and I'm never late to things, so I'm stressed about it. I'm driving to the other place, but I realized some other pros and cons that I wanted to say before I forget them. Parking is included, which is really nice. There isn't like a ton of extra fees, which is very nice. My apartment that I currently live in has like a ton of extra fees included onto the base rent. The amenities were great. Like, the pool was huge, which was incredible. All the people that lived there were nice. Like, when I was walking by, people were like, it's great living here, I really love it. She said they have like a 75% like lease turnover, or not turnover rate, like renewal rate. The one thing that I didn't like about, there are people jaywalking in the street, that is so illegal. The one thing that I didn't love, gym was really small. The person in front of me is going so slow and I'm running late, and I'm like stressed. I just hate being late to things. The gym was small. It didn't have a bunch of equipment. The gym that I currently have in my apartment is much bigger. They didn't have a ton of amenities, but I rarely ever use the amenities in my apartment besides like the gym and the pool, so it didn't really matter too much to me. I liked the location a lot. I just didn't love the roads were blocked off because of the construction, so that was a little frustrating, but overall I did really like it. I'm about to make a turn and I don't want my camera to fly off. We're good. We're in the clear. Are we out of the woods? Taylor Swift. So I'm driving to this other place, the second apartment. The area is really nice. It's a little bit like further north than where I live. The other apartment was much closer to where I live. I'm about to go in a roundabout and this is gonna fall off. Sorry about the AC, it's really hot outside. So I just finished my second apartment tour. So this is apartment number 2. I liked it a lot. It's much bigger than the other place. Like, the other place, I think they said they had like 100 units. They have 400 units here, and there's like multiple buildings. It was very nice. Like, it looked like it was very well kept up. Everyone was like outside. Like, there was a lot of people like hanging in the courtyard or at the pool. Like, there was a lot of people outside, which I don't know if that's like a pro or con, because it's a Tuesday and the pool was like packed. Like, there were so many people there at 12:30 on a Tuesday. I mean, it is 12:30, but like on a Tuesday. Also, I don't know why I always gauge how well I vibe with the leasing office, because that has nothing to do with the apartment. I was cracking that girl up. That girl was laughing so hard at all of my jokes. Part of me was like, was she cracking up too much? Like, is this fake? Is she just trying to like be nice? I was making her laugh a lot. We didn't vibe as much as me and the other lady. It doesn't matter. She also made like a little comment to me. I laughed so hard. She was like, are you single? And I was like, yeah. And she was, there's a lot of hot guys that live here. And I was like, oh my gosh. Because there's a lot of hot guys that live in my current apartment complex. My hot neighbor, we know. I didn't love the dark cabinets. That wasn't my favorite thing. The apartment that she showed me is smaller than the ones that are available when I'm able to move in. It was really weird because the apartments that are available to move in July are like hundreds and hundreds of dollars more expensive than the ones that are available to move in like May and June. So I don't know if like if I just kind of waited out longer they'll be cheaper. That's also kind of risky to not renew my lease but not know exactly where I'm gonna live next year if like I waited out to see if these get cheaper closer to move in. They had a lot of units open, which makes me a little nervous, I guess, now that I'm thinking about it, because I'm like, why are so many people not renewing their leases? This isn't a brand new apartment complex, so it's not like, oh, these are units that no one's lived in and they're trying to fill them up. The gym was really big, which was really nice. The pool, I feel like the pool felt small for as many units as there are here. Also, she was saying the unit that I like toured was like really bright and like light, which I liked, although I didn't love the dark finishes. I felt like they weren't really my aesthetic, but I mean, that's not the most important part. Out of the two, I don't know which one I like better. Like, I feel kind of like about both of them. Like, I think I like where I currently live more than I like both of the ones that I've toured so far. And this one also had a bunch of extra fees. She was showing me all these things and I was like, is this on top of the base rent or is this included in the base rent? And she was like, oh, it's on top. And I was like, oh, okay. It would be like a couple more $100 a month than what it already is, which is kind of a lot. I don't know if I really see myself living here. I once again have more notes while driving. Will this make the lighting better or worse? I guess I didn't realize where it was located because I guess I drove in through the back entrance. As I was driving out of here, I was like, oh my gosh, I know exactly where this is. This is a great location. I drive past it all the time. It's in like a prime area, but it's a little tucked away in the prime area, so it's not super loud. Like, you don't hear like cars driving by, but there's lots of food places nearby. There's the mall that's close by. There's a bunch of really good stuff like that. It's probably an ideal area where I want to live. I think now, knowing the location of it, it may be a little bit higher on my list. For 2 apartments. I think that I might rank it higher than I initially thought because I like the location a lot more. Just finished with apartment number 3. I'm gonna turn my car on. It's very hot this weekend. My car also smells like tacos. This apartment is almost perfect. Almost perfect. There's just a few issues that are kind of big issues. We'll just start with the negatives first. My current lease ends in the beginning of July. They won't have units for me available until August, which obviously isn't gonna work. I could extend my lease like 1 extra month to make it work. It does stress me out a little bit. They said that they won't start like opening up applications and everything until mid-May. By that point, I need to have told my apartment if I'm moving or not. I love the aesthetic of the kitchen. It's a little bit like more masculine than what I'm used to or what I've had in the past, but I really like it. I like that it's brand new. So the reason why they won't have units available for me, apparently this apartment has 5 different buildings and they've only opened up building 1 and they're opening up building 2 in August. Building 2 seems like it's like the best building out of all of them. He was saying it's like gonna be like the main building, the biggest pool, the biggest gym room, the biggest package locker, biggest everything, but they're not opening up the entire thing. They're only opening up a little bit. I love this apartment. All the amenities were so nice. I just don't think that it's gonna work out because I won't be able to move in time. It does make me nervous moving into a brand new apartment that no one's ever lived in, because what if they're not going to be done in time? Because that happens quite a bit in my college town. People would sign for apartments that weren't fully done and they're like, oh, we'll have it, like this apartment will be done by whatever your move-in date. Then move-in date comes and it's not ready, and there's also a lot of issues with newer apartments because they try to like get them done fast. Just what I've seen from people that lived in brand new apartments. I'm so conflicted because I really like this place. I just don't know if it's gonna work with the timing of it all. If the timing was right and they had units available, I would so live here in a heartbeat, but I'm mapping myself to the second place. We're back from, is this apartment number 4? This is the last one of the day. We'll have more tomorrow. What's interesting about this apartment is I didn't realize this, but I toured this last time. This was the apartment that I almost moved into other than the one that I live in right now. This was my second option. This was the one that I like really heavily considered other than the apartment that I'm currently living in. If you guys watched my apartment touring vlog from last year, you guys have seen this apartment. This apartment wasn't fully done being built last time I was here. And the reason I didn't move in this one is because they didn't have like a unit that was perfect for me, because they weren't done building the entire community, so they didn't have all the options. The one that I'm living in now was like much more of what I needed, but now they have more options. The reason I didn't realize that I've already toured this place is because somebody bought this apartment. It was called something else. It was under a different management, and then I think they said like in December or November somebody bought this, which kind of concerns me a little bit, the fact that this apartment wasn't even like open for a full year and somebody else bought it. Pros and cons to this apartment. I mean, first of all, I liked it last time. I almost moved into this one. I don't know if I love the location as much as I thought I did. It's still a good location. The pool is really small, but one pro is that it's only 50% occupied, so whatever unit I move into, I will be the first person living there, which again is a pro and a con. Like I said, like sometimes things can be broken, but they're done building it, so I feel like it'd be more of a priority if something were not to work well. They have 2 different facades, which you guys saw. So they had like the cool one, which was the very first one, and they had the light one. I think I liked the first apartment that I toured more than the second. I kind of am considering this one. They also have a lot of incentives, which the incentive kind of confused me. So from my understanding, the first month is free, the second month is half off, third month is half off, and then you start paying your full rate, which I'm kind of confused. Like, how much would I be paying then? The whole like full month, half month, like that kind of confused me a little bit, but it does bring down the price of like what I'll be spending overall. So I think that is nice. So I might be saving money living here. I think the units that I would be interested in are cheaper than what I'm currently paying. So I think this might be more inexpensive, but there are a lot of like move-in fees. The cost to move in here is a little bit more expensive. I don't love the amenities as much as my apartment that I currently live in, because every apartment that I'm touring, I'm comparing it to mine, because it's either renew my lease or move somewhere else. But again, I don't use the amenities as much as I maybe should, but I feel like the amenities aren't a game-changing decision for me. This is just a really big decision. A lot of factors. But I think out of all the places that I've toured today, this is the one that I'm the most likely to go with, I think. But again, there's other apartments I'm going to tour. Do you think it's a red flag that somebody else bought this apartment complex? But we'll be back at this again tomorrow when I tour some more apartments. More thoughts while I was driving. The main thing that I didn't like about that apartment is the parking. Parking is free outside, so any uncovered spot is free. First come, first serve. They don't give you an assigned parking spot. Or they have covered parking for $30 a month, which essentially is just outdoor parking with like a little ramada over it. Or $150 you can buy a garage. I'm not doing that. There's no way I'd pay $150 for that. But I live in Arizona. It's really hot. A car sitting in the sun is a lot, and the shade, yes, the shade's nice. So I don't know if it's really worth it when parking is free, but it'd be really hot. I don't think that's like a game-changing decision where it would make me change my mind over where I live. That is something to consider. All the other apartments had parking garages. Just something to think about. Day number 2 of touring apartments. I have 3 apartments that I'm touring today. So far, the apartment that I like the most is the very last one that I saw yesterday. We'll see how I like these ones. I love this one. I love this one so much. It is stunning. It is in the best location. Like, the location of this is like ideally where I would want to live. Like, it's even better than where I currently live. Better than all the other apartments that I've seen. The finishes are beautiful. All of the amenities are stunning. She said that this was done being built in 2021 and it just feels so new. It's beautiful. It's stunning. However, it's expensive. The very first unit that I showed you guys is, I think it's like $100 more than what I pay a month just for the base rent, not even included like parking is additional, and then there's like the fees on top of it. So it will be like an extra like $200-300 a month in the base rent, which now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, dang it. And then the second unit, which was so small, it was like a shoebox, it was still beautiful. That was the same price as the last apartment that I toured. Remember how I was saying that the last apartment that I toured is my favorite one? The smallest unit was the same price as the units in that apartment. Was that number 4? The units in number 4 are much bigger than the ones that are the same price here. This one has so many more perks. I really like this one so much. I was walking around and it just felt so like luxurious and incredible. Price wise, I don't think that it's gonna work out. She did say though there are units that are in between the expensive one that I viewed and the cheapest one that I viewed. She's like, so there could be somewhere in between. However, it would still be more than the other apartment, but I do like this one more. I like the amenities, I like the features, I like the location. There's just a lot of perks to living here, but it's more expensive. And the thing that is the most important to me at the moment is the price. I don't want to rule this one out, but I think I'm going to have to. But she did say that she'll keep me in mind if any other units open up, so hopefully there'll be one that's like a good price. Now we're off to the next place. What is this? I think I lost track of all the apartments. This is apartment number 5, 6. That tour took 7 minutes and that was about it. Basically, this is a really small complex. They only have like 40 units. And she said they only have 5 one-bedroom apartments and there's only one available right now. There's not really gonna be one available around the time that I move in. And she's like, I can keep in touch with you just in case something happened. She let me tour one that they were still like fixing up, like turning over after the last person came out. It's a really small apartment complex. There's not really big amenities because it's so small. The gym, very small, pool, very small, which is not a bad thing by any means. This is the cheapest apartment by like $20, but still, this is the cheapest one that I've toured and I did like it. Main thing that I didn't like about it, which other than the fact that they probably won't have one open for me, so I feel like this is probably ruled out. This is a really weird thing that is important to me, is having my front door be inside a building. Like the front doors of these are outdoors and the only apartments that they have available are the first floor, which is like, as a woman living alone, makes me feel really unsafe. Even though this is a safe area, this is further out than all the other apartments I've looked at. Like out of all the ones that I toured, this one is the furthest away from the area that I'd like to live in, or ideally like to live in. That was a side note, but back to what I was saying, it makes me a little scared that anyone can just like walk up to my front door, knock on it, especially if I post my life on the internet. I always want to look for apartments that kind of have like a hotel style, if that makes any sense. Like you have to scan into the building, then you walk into a hallway, and then you can scan into your door. I don't want people to just be able to walk up to my front door. It's just a safety thing, living alone, putting my life on the internet. That's something that's really important to me that maybe not everyone cares about, but to me it does. Also, there's no elevators in this apartment, but I guess again that doesn't really matter because all the apartments they have available are on the first floor. So this one probably I'm going to have to rule out. Now we're off to the very last place. The last apartment, I guess we're not going to tour it. I did so many laps of this place to try to find the leasing office and I could not find it. I think I lapped it 10 times and I could not find the leasing office. I do think I know which apartment I want to go with. I just don't know if I should. Oh, this light is green. I need to figure out what I want to do, if I want to stay in my apartment or if I want to go with the last apartment from yesterday. Or the first apartment from today if there's one that's a really good deal, but I doubt there's going to be one. Okay, so I'm back home now from touring all the apartments, and I've already said this, but my favorite one so far was the very last one from yesterday. I did all the math, and here's my options, and I want to hear your guys' opinion on this. I still don't know how much my apartment is increasing my rent. I find out tomorrow, but as of right now, if I move into that apartment, after all of the application fees, the admin fees, deposit, and the moving fees, I wonder if there's any other fees that I'm forgetting, but after all those fees, I would be saving around $200 to $250 a month, which is a lot of money. My one fear about moving into that apartment is it's a smaller apartment, which makes sense why it's cheaper. In my apartment that I currently live in, I have a little designated office space. I work from home. When I first moved into this apartment, I didn't have a little designated office space. I would work from my dining room table or my kitchen island or my couch, and I had a really hard time separating my work and my life. It was really hard on my mental health, if I'm being honest, like kind of blending those two together and not having my own designated space for work. And because that apartment is smaller, there isn't really going to be a place where I can put my desk. I can maybe get a smaller desk and put it in my bedroom. So that is the thing that I'm struggling with the most, of what is more important, having a little office work from home area that is better for my mental health, or living in an apartment that is $200 to $250 cheaper a month. Obviously, finances are really important, and that's the main reason that if I move, I want to move, is to find a cheaper apartment. But I definitely need to weigh the pros and cons. I'm constantly in my apartment. If you guys watch my vlog, obviously live in my apartment, but I spend majority of my time here. I need to figure out if it's worth saving $250, which is a lot of money, don't get me wrong. Like, this isn't me trying to be like, oh, that's like nothing. Like, $250 is a lot of money. Or living in an apartment that's bigger, that has more space, that I can have an office area. I'm trying to figure out which one's more important to me. And I'm struggling because it's a lot of money, but my mental health is also really important to me. I want to hear your guys' opinion. I need to make this decision really soon. So please comment what you guys think I should do. Obviously, I will be the one making the final decision, but I would love to hear your guys' feedback if you've been through anything like this where you've downsized, and how that was for you, if it was a positive or negative experience. I'd love to know. My apartment could also be increasing my rent a lot. If it's more than $250, I don't know if it's going to be worth it. I just feel very conflicted because I think they're both very important things to me. Saving money and my mental health are both equally important, so I'm like, ugh. So please tell me what you think I should do. I love you guys so much. And if you're new here and you're looking to move and you're wanting to tour apartments here, I toured some other apartments in Scottsdale last year, so I'll have that video linked down below for you guys if you want to see some other apartments that I didn't show in this video that I looked at last year. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Please tell me what you think I should do.